Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening, everyone. As the coronavirus crisis digs into the economy, the state government has flagged it could push major infrastructure projects forward to help stimulate business in Tasmania. There are also calls tonight for special assistance for casual workers who may be forced to self-isolate without the benefit of sick leave.
The coronavirus continues its spread across the world, but separate from the health fears, a big side effect is its impact on the economy. Here, the state government is looking at what infrastructure projects it could accelerate to aid the economy.
Well, we're working on a package at the moment in concert with the federal government to look at what we can bring forward, what might be able to be accelerated.
The federal government is working on a stimulus package, said to be worth up to $10 billion, as more and more employed Australians are advised to self-quarantine.
Our focus is on getting a cooperative workplace. Our focus is in ensuring that businesses are flexible, given the stresses and strains that we will see as a result of the spread of the coronavirus.
Clearly, there is a substantial issue with workers who don't have paid sick leave, so they should be looking at ways to deal with that pressure.
Unions Tasmania is calling for assistance for casual workers who don't have the safety net of sick leave.
You might get a week of lots of shifts and then you might get a week of none. And if you self-isolate and then have to have additional time because you're unwell, it could actually track past the 2 weeks, and that's just completely unacceptable for people living pay to pay.
So far, 126 tests for the virus have been completed in Tasmania. Public Health says the only 2 confirmed cases didn't self-isolate while waiting for results. The state government says it's considering the threat of fines if people don't comply.
There are significant penalties that can be brought to bear, significant financial penalties, up to around $8,500 should someone not follow a direction of the Director of Public Health. And we are considering the use of those powers currently.
2 men who tested positive remain in hospital in a stable condition. Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
Local authorities are issuing a warning about potentially dangerous MDMA capsules circulating in Tasmania. In a statement, police say a patron at Saturday's Hot Dub Wine Machine Festival in the Huon Valley has suffered an adverse reaction, believed to be linked to a red capsule. Authorities say anyone in possession of similar capsules should destroy them or hand them in to police. Detectives are seeking public assistance to identify people involved in the supply of drugs at the event. Information can be provided anonymously through Crime Stoppers. The popular Taste of the Huon is packing up for another year as the final day of delicacies, local produce and entertainment finished up this afternoon. Organisers believe around 20,000 people flocked through the gates over the 2 days, not letting the rain and dull weather dampen their spirits.
Really great entertainment, just kids having a really good time, lots of kids' entertainment, lots for the adults, a lot of really great wines and beers and just good times.
The annual event is now in its 28th year. Another food festival could be on the cards for Tasmania as well, with a plan to revive a large-scale multicultural street festival. The proposal would see the North Hobart restaurant strip closed off to traffic to celebrate the suburb's food culture.
The streets of North Hobart are no stranger to a good festival, seeing celebrations of culture such as Festa Italia and the Estia Greek Festival each year. In the 1990s, it saw thousands attending the North Hobart Multicultural Street Festival. Now one Hobart alderman wants to bring it back.
As it was successful in the 90s, here we are with a number of community organisations already in the area, coupled with the restaurant strip. I think it's a prime area to have a multicultural festival.
He's seeking the council's support and guidance to bring back the festival, seeing some of the suburb's streets blocked off for the celebration of different cultures. The proposal already has the support of some local businesses and community organisations.
As a kid, I can remember going to the original, I remember enjoying it myself. I was quite young, but there hasn't been anything as such in this area.
Bringing together food, live music and celebrations, it's anticipated it could bring more than 10,000 people for the event, which is hoped to have a flow-on effect for local business.
So we want to try and bring something up to North Hobart where we can, have that same sort of benefit for all the traders up here as well. Bring that good vibe to North Hobart.
The association has a number of times spoken to me about it. We should get it happening again. Well, let's go. It's about time we got it happening again.
The motion is being put forward at a council meeting tomorrow night. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
From hot rods to Holdens, hundreds of local car enthusiasts with their prized possessions converged on Geilston Bay for the 6th annual Clarence Lions Club Car Show. One of the more popular brands on display, Holdens, with owners gathering to display their classics following the announcement of the company's withdrawal from the Australian market.
They live and breathe Holdens. Talk to them about a Ford and they just turn away. So yeah, they're Holden people.
Organisers hope to raise more than $4,000 for the Lions disaster relief appeal. Many Tasmanians have enjoyed a day off today, but what exactly for? Today marks the 8 Hours Day public holiday, celebrating the hard-fought campaign to improve working conditions. It was based on the notion that employees should have 8 hours to work, 8 hours to play and 8 hours to sleep. A battle for balance, unions say, is still relevant.
Often workers are told that it's a 24/7 economy, and what we say to that is, regardless of technology impacting our lives, all workers deserve balance between work, rest and play.
The holiday is also known as Labour Day.
North Melbourne has beaten Sydney by 11 points in a seesawing contest in Kingborough. Tasmanian Aaron Hall demanded a place in round one, booting a goal and finding plenty of the footy in an impressive outing. At the home of the Kingborough Tigers, the Kangaroos were first to bite.
For the first goal of the afternoon, the big ruckman.
The forward line was copping heavy knocks, but landing early blows on the scoreboard.
Make it 3 straight for North Melbourne. They've got the jump on the Swans.
Hobart's Aaron Hall was in the action, working in tandem with fellow Tasmanian Taryn Thomas, but the Swans had a run on 14-point leaders at the main break. Ben Brown watched on as Nick Larkey pounced on a backline blunder.
You make that mistake once a year.
Hall making himself known to selectors ahead of the season proper.
Hall kept his feet. Normally a really clever finisher, and he's done just that. He gets the better of Mills, and North Melbourne open up a bit of breathing room.
Local fans were treated to a beauty in the final quarter as the Swans snatched the lead.
From an improbable angle, Louis Taylor ready to go round one with his new club.
The contest had another twist, the Roos wresting control again before Jed Anderson locked it in.
Coming up, his first shot at goal, Jed Anderson done a lot of the hard work inside, and there's the payoff. And it might just be a sealer for North Melbourne.
North Melbourne winners in Kingborough by 11 points. The lingering concern, Ben Brown and his injured calf.
Yeah, I'm actually getting an MRI tomorrow just to see how everything's ticking along, and hopefully that's all positive and we can really aim for round one. So that's what I'm hoping for, but the reality is that, you know, it could be round 2 or 3.
2 Tasmanians have gone toe-to-toe at the Timber Sports Australian Trophy in St Kilda. Sheffield's Cody Steers proved to be slightly sharper than Josh Bakes in their elimination round before bowing out in the quarter-final. It was still a good weekend for Bakes, who cracked the top 10 in his competition debut. Father-son duo Matthew and Daniel Gurr also swung the axe and broke their personal best times. Launceston's Josh Duffy has won the Bendigo Madison with his Western Australian teammate Connor Leahy.
We definitely knew we were a pretty strong team. There's plenty of other strong guys out there.
The pair was one of 2 teams to lap the field. It's nicknamed the Race to the Sun, but the opening stage of the Paris-Nice was anything but. Richie Port braved fierce crosswinds and pelting rain, but never saw the front of the pack. The Trek Segafredo rider finished 44th, nearly 3 minutes behind the leader.
Good evening. Smithton recorded the state's high today, 20 degrees there. Launceston and Devonport both 19, 18 in Burnie and Hobart 15. King and Flinders Islands both 18 today. St Helens 17 along with the Friendly Beaches. Ouse 16, Strawn also 16, 15 at Grove, Maria Island 14 and Liaweenie 13 degrees. Here on the satellite we can see low-level cloud covering the state today. That low-level cloud extends over the southern and southeastern coastal area of mainland Australia, and a trough sits over eastern Australia producing cloud and thunderstorms there. Tomorrow the high will move to the east of Tasmania later in the day. Low pressure troughs will linger about much of the mainland. Coastal waters now, westerly winds 5 to 20 knots and seas 1 to 2 metres. There are no warnings issued for the state tomorrow. Hobart a bit warmer tomorrow, 19 and mostly sunny. Tarraleah similar conditions, and Adventure Bay a mostly sunny 18. Drizzle clearing in the north of the state, Launceston 21, Devonport and Bridport both expecting 19. Burnie possible drizzle 19, mostly sunny at Strawn 19, Marrawar partly cloudy 20 degrees. 19 in St Helens, drizzle clearing, Swansea 19 partly cloudy, and for Whitemarker partly cloudy 20 degrees. The UV is 7s across the state tomorrow, which is high. Looking ahead to Wednesday now, fine and mostly sunny. Thursday, showers developing about the west in the morning, extending to southern and central parts in the afternoon. And showers extending throughout during the morning on Friday. A mostly sunny day in Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Canberra, Alice Springs and Broome tomorrow, while Sydney, Brisbane and Cairns all expecting a shower or two. And currently in Hobart, it's mostly cloudy 14, Launceston mostly cloudy 16 and Devonport partly cloudy 16. And that's tonight's weather forecast. Peter, or is it Murph? I'm not sure what to call you now that you're in that chair.
Well, you should call me Mr Murphy, but I'll send you an email with all the protocol. My assistant will be in touch with you later in the week. That's all the news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.